In this video, we're going to create an electronic slideshow presentation using Microsoft PowerPoint. So either you already have Microsoft PowerPoint installed as part of Microsoft Office, or like me, you are using the free Microsoft PowerPoint online version, which is always available. Either way, you'll want to get to this point where you are looking at a blank PowerPoint presentation with a blank slide. As we walk through the steps and features of Microsoft PowerPoint, keep in mind that PowerPoint is considered one of the many presentation graphic software programs that will create an electronic slideshow. So there's many more out there. This is the one that we're going to focus on in this video. And you'll see these used in all aspects of business, education, and some even use it for personal use. A presentation, you're going to need to use an assortment of different tools and operations to create and edit individual slides. And that's what we're going to walk through today. We're going to look at some of the features in this typical PowerPoint window. So either if you are using the installed Microsoft PowerPoint or you are using the free version that I am here, these features are going to be very similar. So starting at the top, you can see that we do have something called a ribbon, and this contains several different tabs, such as the File tab, the Home tab, Insert tab. We also have the Design, Transitions, and Slideshow tabs. At the top, we also have the New Slide button, which we will be using. On the left, where I selected right there, that is called a slide thumbnail, and we will start to build our slides there. The large slide is just called a slide, and this is where we will be entering text. We will be inserting pictures. There's also an option to put in audio clips, tables as well. And down at the bottom, we have the status bar. You can see down at the bottom left here, we are on slide 1 of 1. So the very first slide that you are looking at now is actually called the title slide, and by default when you create a brand new presentation, this is the slide layout that you're going to be given. And typically you would type in the title of your presentation. And the way you do that is you just click, as it says on the screen, anywhere in the large slide. So I'm going to type in CS115 so far, and that would be my title. I could also add a subtitle down at the bottom right below that. If you do not add anything underneath the title, CS115 so far, you will not see anything here when I run my presentation. So you do have the option to keep that bottom area empty, or you could add a subtitle. And I'm actually going to choose to add a subtitle here. And that's all you do. So to add a title or a subtitle or actually any sort of text in a slideshow, you just go ahead and click where you want to add the text. And when you're done adding your text, simply click somewhere else. I'm going to click on the thumbnail, and you are ready to move on. Formatting the text of a slide is as simple as it is in Microsoft Word. So if you're familiar with Word, think about the concepts you would use in Microsoft Word and apply them here. So if we want to highlight the title, you will notice that you get a shortcut menu that does pop up, and it tells you the font style, the font name, the size. You have the option to do bold, italics, underline, change the color. You could add bullets, numbering, and so on. And just as an example here at the beginning, I will change the font, and we will just change that to this closest one right there. I could also adjust the size up to 80. And if you feel like it, you can change the color. It gives you a wide selection of colors, and choose any one that you think you like. I'm going to go with this color, blue down at the bottom. And like I said before, when you are done working on the slide, just click anywhere else. Okay, we can also do the same thing with our subtitle. So if I highlight the text. I'm not going to use the shortcut that was trying to pop up there. I'm actually going to use my Home tab, which is where we're currently at. And I'm going to use the font area of the ribbon, which is right here in the middle at the top. So you can see you have a button that's going to increase the font size, a button that's going to decrease the font size. We have bold type. We can also change the colors here. And if you look at this button, it says that there are more font options. This is called an ellipsis, okay, or a sideways snowman if you want to look at it that way. When you select that, it's actually going to give you the italics, underline, and a few other things. So keep that in mind. But at this point here, I'm not going to use any of those options. I will use the feature that's going to increase the font size. And it just goes up one step at a time. You can see how it is increasing here on the left. So there's 28, there's 32. I think I'm going to leave it at 32. And I will also leave the font style the way it is there by default. And I will change the font color to blue and click somewhere else. And there we are. We are now ready to add another slide. There are actually a few options on how you add another slide. The first option, which is probably the most obvious, is to come up here to the ribbon and click on the New Slide button. Right here, this will be in our New Slide area. We could also right-click on the current slide that we have, the title slide, which is our title slide thumbnail. And we could select New Slide that way. And the third way is we could go to the Insert tab on the ribbon and click New Slide right there. Okay, so I'm actually going to go back to Home and click the New Slide button. Once you click the New Slide button to make slide 2, you'll have to choose a layout. So we do have several options here as far as layout. By default, it's title and content. We also have a to content and a title only option. But you'll have to scroll through and decide which slide layout you would like. For our presentation here, I'm going to go with title and content, which was already selected by default, and select Add Slide. To add text to the slide, I'm doing the exact same procedure as before. Click inside one of the two sections. At the top, this would be considered the title of the slide, and down at the bottom, this would be the content, which is why it's called the title and content slide. So I'm going to start with the title. We'll type in PowerPoint Lectures Presented. So it's that easy. Wherever you want to type, you just select. So I'll click down the bottom. I'll type in lecture A through B. So I'm just going to hit return. And notice how the bullets are already in there by default. I do not have to add bullets at this point. I do have the option to get rid of them or change them or format them, which will be the same procedure as I followed through before. I'm also going to show you how if you hit return, it automatically sets that bullet. If I hit return twice, it's going to leave a space. So if you want to have spacing within your slide like we do here, just hit the return key twice and you will move on. You'll leave a blank space. So lecture D, lecture E. So again, it's as simple as that. Wherever you want to type, you just go ahead and select. To format the text is the same procedure as before. I would highlight it. I have my shortcut menu. I could change my font once again to whatever I would like. I believe I had this before. I could increase or decrease my font size. I'll increase it slightly, and I will change it to the blue color that I also used before. And the same thing goes with the lectures. I could actually do a group formatting and choose the color I would like. I'll choose red. And I could also change this color as well using the shortcut. Or I could come up to the top here in the font area, change the color that way. And I will change this to a green color, just for something a little slightly different. I could also adjust the bullets by going up to the paragraph area, which is above the word presented. So right here, if I highlight over the bullets, I get a bulleted library. Hit the drop-down menu, and you have a wide selection of bullets to change to. If you would like, right next to that, we have the numbering library. I could also choose some numbers. So I'm going to choose 1, 2, 3 for that section. And I'll highlight this section and choose a different style of bulleting or numbering. So they're right next to each other. And I think I'm going to go with the Roman numerals there for that one. And while this is highlighted, let's see if we could italicize it. And also, might as well try bold type. There you go. So the formatting is the same for all text, and you format just as you would with Microsoft Word. Now to insert my third slide, I'm going to actually use the Insert tab this time for a little change. And I'm going to select New Slide. And you'll see here, once again, I have to select the layout of the slide. But this time, I'm going to choose To Content. And select Add Slide. And you can see that the layout is a little bit different than it was before. But I'm not going to add anything to that during this video. Check back in the next video and see how we add pictures, we add text, we could change the font style, bulleting, and everything's going to be done in a new layout. So check out the next video, part 2 of this series. Until next time.